Good evening and welcome to tonight's interview with three of my good friends, Helga, Joe and Kyel. My name is Melinda Pearson and I live in the Albury-Wodonga region and am blessed to be an independent distributor with LifeVantage after my life was changed with these products. Tonight's topic is Changing Lives, Stories of Natural Activation. We're going to hear how Helga, Joe and Kyel have used natural activation to biohack their lives. Now, biohacking refers to the use of science to optimize our brain and body potential. And what we are sharing about tonight is the impact of individualized nutritional therapy. So just like fine-tuning a piano, each person's body responds uniquely to the tuning that happens on a cellular and genetic level. And this means that each person's response will be unique, and these stories are for educational purposes only. In order to appreciate how these products have changed their lives, let's explore how they work. LifeVantage in 2003 introduced a 40-year research product to the wellness market that was to alter how we view health. All natural, 5 herbs in synergy, they found they could reawaken the NRF2 pathway of our youth, responsible for slowing down aging, reducing and protecting against cellular rust, and boosting our own antioxidant production. Scientists found the combination of turmeric, ashwagandha, bacopa, green tea, and milk thistle worked 18 times better together than on their own to activate the NRF2 pathway. University and laboratories around the world have been researching this product with 26 peer-reviewed studies to date which have been published. In 2016, after extensive research, they introduced the sister product called NRF1, named after the pathway it activates. Working in conjunction with the NRF2 pathway, this product focuses on boosting cellular energy and mitochondrial creation, repair, and recovery. Using 5 nutritional ingredients that synergistically reawaken the NRF1 pathway, it helps people with their sleep, energy levels, and everyday performance. The 5 ingredients are acetyl L-carnitine, quercetin, alpha-lipoic acid, grape extract, and coenzyme Q10. And in the last couple of years, along with the general awareness on gut health, LifeVantage has introduced their unique slow-release probiotic designed to target tightening the cellular junctions in the gut and boosting the immune system. This enhances absorption of the NRF2 and NRF1 to optimize their performance. So knowing the science and information is great, but what we really want to know is how are they helping people? So keeping this in mind, these stories are unique to each individual. Let's have a chat with Helga. Helga is a passionate photojournalist, author, and entrepreneurial health and life biohacker who lives on the Sunshine Coast. She is the author of A World of Twins book series and has photographed hundreds of sets of twins and triplets, winning national and international awards. And on March 15, 2015, Helga's life was thrown into turmoil with a sudden onset of joint swelling. Conventional drug-based treatments made her ill and depressed. Fueled by her own personal health challenges, she has set out to find natural health solutions. And enlightened by her success, she felt compelled to share her journey of healing to help others. So Helga, welcome. It's always a pleasure to have a chat with you. Please take us on your health journey. What was it like to have such a sudden onset of something so debilitating?
Well, firstly, thank you so much for inviting me on tonight. It's always a pleasure to share my journey because I know that it does give other people hope. So life was pretty good. I was traveling around Australia, documenting the lives of twins and triplets, very adventurous. My health was good. I was a bit of a health junkie, doing lots of exercise. I was actually training for my first 80K long endurance run. And out of the blue, my husband had a health challenge, which I didn't realize the spiral effect of the stress that was involved with that. It threw my body into turmoil. And then one day I just basically woke up. I could barely move. Everyday tasks became extremely difficult. And so you can imagine going from somebody that's super fit and healthy to barely being able to get out of bed. I couldn't cut my food. I needed help showering. I couldn't drive. I couldn't turn the steering wheel. I couldn't hold the pump. Yeah, so life was pretty dismal. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like it. I mean,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
just take those things for granted.
Oh,
So, what did you
absolutely.
discover? Like, what was it along the way that's made the difference for your health, and how has that changed your life?
Well, basically, I tried very hard to heal myself naturally. I'm a big advocate for going down that path. So I got in touch with a really good naturopath, and I was on a lot of products. I was actually spending probably anywhere from $800 to $1,000 a month on products and shakes and supplements. And unfortunately, after about 13, 14 months, my health was still deteriorating rapidly. And that's when my husband said, enough's enough. You need to do the pharmaceutical route. So I did that. And it was about 2 months later that I was introduced to the product that I was extremely skeptical, because one of the products that I was taking was turmeric. And I'm sure that everyone on the call knows that turmeric is like the big buzzword, you know, for joint discomfort. So I was extremely skeptical. I basically rang my girlfriend up and I said, I'm sorry if that's turmeric. You're giving people false hope. I was really in dire strait at that time. I was not in a happy place. So yeah, and I tried it, and the rest is basically history. Within six to 8 weeks, I was able to stop my Nurofen. And yeah, and then all of my body functions started coming back, and I basically got my life back. So I have been on the products now for almost 4.5 years, sort of lose track, but I wouldn't go a day without any of them, because I know that it's really benefited my body. Yeah.
Fantastic. So you've got off your Nurofen, you're off your drugs that you were taking prior. And I mean, I know this isn't just a product that you're taking in isolation. I know that you do sell the Reduce. I know that you are very keen to support your body to reduce that amount of the stress that it's under. I know that you're very keen to do that. And so this sounds to me like you've really just added to that what you're doing, and just really boosted that to see those amazing results. So it's not just taking a miracle pill.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a holistic journey. Sorry about that. It's been a holistic journey. I've changed the way that I eat. I have an anti-inflammatory diet. I don't do nightshades. I don't do meat anymore. I don't do gluten. I celery juice. I do lots of cleansers. So I do three monthly maintenance cleansers, where I'll do a 3 or a 5 day juice, you know, healthy eating programs. So it has been holistic. And I think when you're faced with a really severe health challenge, it does affect the mind. So I've had to work a lot on my mindset. I do a lot of yoga to still my mind, because going from somebody that was very, very active, you don't, to almost bedridden, you've got to do something with your energy. So your brain's like this. So that was very important to to work with the mindset as well. So it's a holistic approach. But yeah, the products have been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I'm so pleased to hear that your health has improved so much through these products. And I know that you're not alone in saying that. So thank you so much, Helga, for sharing. I loved hearing your story.
Thank you.
And thank you. Next, I'd like to welcome Joe. And Joe is a good friend of mine that I've known for quite a while now through Toastmasters. Joe is a marketing professional, mentor and trainer, and she lives near Albury, New South Wales, and is experimenting with healthy, slow living and growing her own produce. And Joe is a biohacker at heart. So Joe, can you tell me, what was life like before activation, before you were doing what you're doing now?
Thanks, Melinda. Thanks for inviting me on tonight as well. I want to rewind. To give you a bit of a timeline here, I'm 41 right at the moment. But when I was 13, I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue. And that's really when my probably biohacking without realizing it began. I was on vitamin drips and all kinds of naturopathic solutions to help me so that I could actually function. But in more recent times, just before I started activating, I was taking quite a bit of asthma medication. I was having antihistamines almost every day. And probably a result of the chronic fatigue, I had a really fast resting heart rate. And just before Melinda introduced me to the NRF2, so the first product that I started taking, I was planning a 6-week trekking holiday with my mum in Nepal. Now, trekking and asthma at altitude and cold temperatures, and I can see Kyel nodding here, so he probably knows all the biochemical side of this. It doesn't really go together, and with a fast resting heart rate, I'd be stopping frequently to catch my breath and reduce my heart rate so that I could then keep walking again. So that was where I started. Now, unfortunately, I only took them for a couple of months. Went on my trek and then forgot to order them and didn't have any for a whole year. And then Melinda introduced me to the next lot. So I'm probably getting ahead of myself here, Melinda, but they were my main symptoms. So asthmatic, allergies, and for me it was really the itchy throat that would then turn into a sore throat, which would then turn into usually a head cold, sinuses, etc. And then the fast resting heart rate, which meant that I couldn't do a lot of high level activities.
That's really interesting. And thank you for giving us that context of what your life has been like. So what convinced you to give this a go, and what changed for your mindset? What was it?
Yeah, so I was already supplementing. And I think one of the main things, and you touched on it already tonight, is the power of the ingredients when they're combined in the way that they are. That was probably the big thing. And the fact that you shared with me with your story as to the increase in energy and focus. They were things that I was really struggling with. And I thought, well, I'll give it a go and see how it goes, because I do believe in supplementing. But what I found is this was so much more, especially when I had the 3 products together. So that was the helping with oxidation, helping with energy, and then the probiotics as well, which I've been taking for about a year now. Yeah, so but really it was your enthusiasm, and I thought, well, I'm already on that track, so give it a go. If it doesn't work, I'll stop. If it does work, fantastic, I'll keep going.
Yeah. I remember the day we went for a walk and you said to me, is it normal to have energy when I'm taking these products? And I was like, yes, it is.
And a clear brain, that's been huge.
Yes.
Focus.
Yeah. And I totally resonate with that. That was one of the things I was struggling with, was the brain fog. Yeah. Perfect. I love it. So apart from more energy, focus, and the more mental clarity, tell us how this has changed. You talked about asthma and allergies. Talk to us about what happened with that.
Yep. So I actually went back in preparation for tonight and had a look to see if I could collect some data. So let me just have a look at my timeframes here. So as I said, so 24th of October is when I started back on the 3 products. So it's been about a year, at which time I was taking 2 puffs twice a day of Symbicort, my asthma medication. 8 months later, so 23rd of June, when I went to my doctor, I discussed getting off of my medication. And he was a bit hesitant because it's the beginning of winter, which is probably the worst time to try. And he said, well, give it a go. So I'm at half my medication at the moment. And now I'm probably feeling confident that I can now stop. And we've got a plan in place if I do need to go back on it, but it's now probably just about my confidence. So really my mindset. And that's huge for me. That's one thing. Antihistamines, I've taken 4 tablets in the last 6 months. So not needing them every day. And once again, that's just pretty unknown for me. And then the big thing, and this is something I could really quantify, my heart rate. So my resting heart rate in June last year was 88 to 95 beats per minute. So anyone knows that that's pretty high. In March this year, so 4 to 5 months after taking the 3 products, it went down from 86 to 76. And then around April to June, it's gone down to 71 to 78 beats a minute. So that's 10 to 24 beats a minute lower. Yeah, so that, when I looked at that, that's probably the biggest win. Yeah, so I haven't tested out by going hiking any mountains or anything recently, but yeah, I'm certainly feeling a lot fitter, walking, playing 18 holes golf, just, yeah, feeling so much better. Yeah.
You know, I'm so incredibly grateful for you sharing this journey, because to me, it's just, I look at you and see this beautiful, healthy, glowing Jo. And that just really makes me so happy, because I know that you've been on this really big health journey, and it's not just taking these products. You've done things like you've decided to eat differently. You've decided to do intermittent fasting. You've decided to do water fasting. You've really focused on how you can improve your health. And I'm guessing that's probably the case because you felt better from taking these products. Therefore, you've been inspired.
I know we had a conversation recently, and yeah, full disclaimer here, it's, to me, it's, as I felt better, I then investigated more things. I started looking into biohacking a lot more. There's certainly a lot more things I want to try and do. And for me, that's about tracking how I'm feeling, tracking the results, like things like heart rate and medication and focus, energy, those kind of things. And really looking at what little things I can change, you know, what toxins can I remove, how can I eat better, how does my body react to certain things. So and I think even preparing for tonight's making me a lot more aware of those things to really keep moving forward with that, and see what other ways I can biohack really and feel better, live longer, live healthier, and hopefully inspire some people to, you know, take whatever that next step is for them, no matter how small or big that might be, so that they too can enjoy the great benefits. It's yeah, a fantastic way to live. So thanks, Mel, for sharing this about 2 years ago. Really appreciate it.
I'm so grateful that you said yes. And do you know what? I'm just looking at you now, Jo. Your skin looks amazing.
Thank you.
I know you've been using the skincare products, and your skin looks amazing.
I only just got them about two days ago. So I've actually been using no skincare on for at least 6 weeks, 6 months or so. For those ladies, I haven't worn makeup for probably 5 years or so. Part of the trying to detoxify. Yeah, I've just started, as I said, arrived about 2 days ago, the skincare that I'm trying as well, being the biggest organ of your body. So yeah, see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm loving it. It looks great. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
So what I love about what Jo just shared is that it's all about finding the balance point in the body. And this is where this product, like tuning the piano, comes into play, of really helping the body to find what it needs to work with and do that. So we can't say that everyone's going to have the same results because of that factor. So next we have Kyel Easy, and Kyel is an education coach with a mathematics and exercise science background who has an interest in biochemistry. And he's a busy solo dad of 2, a biohacker from way back, and a fitness enthusiast. And I'd like to welcome Kyel. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. Kyel, I'd love to hear your story. You've got a science background, and I know that you will understand the science and how the products work on a cellular level. Please share with us how they've helped you.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation tonight, Mel. Yeah, it's really a pleasure to be able to connect with you all and share my story. So, yeah, I mean, I have a good science background. It's some exercise science and nutrition after I did my teaching degree. But my story basically begins in my 20s. I have a family history of stomach issues. On my mum's side, I had joint inflammation from, I played football since I was 4 and cricket and athletics. Which is, in my 20s where I started searching for answers in supplements and got to the stage where I was popping antacids daily. Every meal felt like a fire was burning in my stomach. Zantac, Nexium, and then Somac, like my mum and grandparents, prescription medications, if you're not aware of those ones for your stomach. And then on my dad's side, there's a family history of heart disease and dementia. So, life moves on and kids arrive along with the brain fog. So coffee helped me out, but it made my stomach worse. I felt fatigued most of the time, which I thought was just life with young kids. Even coffee stopped working, which I learned is a sign of adrenal fatigue. And I had repeated sinus infections. I had 7 sinus infections in one winter. Basically, it was just kept recurring and recurring. So my situation was getting rather bad. And when I listened to Joe's story, mine's kind of the flip of that. I've sort of gone through and worked out a lot of things, and now here we are. So I was thinking at that stage in my life, I started to feel that it was inevitable that I would have the same stomach issues as my mum, and heart and dementia issues like my dad. So I actually went vegan for 2 years, which helped dramatically with the stomach issues. It increased some energy levels. I still had joint pain and a fair amount of brain fog. And contemplating life, aging, and more brain fog, I felt like I knew the kind of person that I wanted to be, but I didn't feel able to reach that level. And that was a very sobering thought for me. I thought, is this as good as it's going to get? Is this what getting old is like? And so over the last 25 years, I've taken a whole lot of supplements. I probably before I started taking these products, I had 25 different supplements in my cupboard that I was regularly taking. So I'd explored for a lot, and I read a lot. So I've been a biohacker, I guess, before it was a term, but it was kind of randomly searching for answers. And so finally I went to an integrative physician, and we did all kinds of blood work. I had blood results of a much younger man in terms of inflammation, but I had very low testosterone, and I still had so much brain fog, still joint pain and low energy levels. So I had some testosterone injections, and I now have a testosterone cream. It probably didn't help me that I had mumps twice when I was, by the time I was 3. So the testosterone has helped me with energy and some brain fog, but I still felt less than who I could be. I knew that what I wanted to be like. I knew what I had been like, but I still felt I couldn't be the person I wanted to be, the kind of father to my children, the type of brother and son to my family. So then Mel actually introduced me to Pro Tandem, the NRF2 and NRF1 synergizers, through something like this Zoom session, and my interest was piqued. And I read all the science I could find, but I still had reservations because it was network marketing. But I thought, I just have to give this a try. And within 10 days, I didn't really feel anything. I woke up on the 11th day in the morning, and my brain fog was gone. My energy had increased. My mood was enhanced, which really surprised me. And the overall quality of my interactions went to a higher level. This only served to make me feel more positive about my decision and my outlook on life. I actually feel like this is the last piece of the puzzle for me. So that's what I mean when Jo told her story. Mine's kind of in reverse. So, this sounds a bit lame and corny coming out of my mouth, but due to the enhanced energy and brain function and how I feel, now I think I can be the person that I truly envisaged, my best self.
I love that, Kyel. Thank you so much for sharing that, because it really highlights the role that a product like this can do to give you quality of life, to give you back that energy that you want to be able to spend time with your children, to then be able to invest in them and to have your family stronger. So it's not just about you, it's about what that flow and effect has to the people around you. So that's such a blessing. And thank you for sharing that. So for anyone that is interested in knowing more about these products and making them a part of your daily life, or you'd like to share a copy of the recording from tonight with a friend, please get back to the person that invited you here tonight. Thank you for being on here. If you'd like to stick around for the Q&A, you're welcome to do that, or you're welcome to go. But thank you again, and good night.